A place in the third division is the prize as Blackpool take on Torquay United in the Barclays League Division 4 playoff final. A great achievement for both clubs to be here. Blackpool lifted from close to the foot of the table by new manager Billy Eyre. Torquay, unbeaten in their opening 14 games, survived a major stumble after that to earn their place in the playoffs. Torquay won 5 of their last 8 matches to finish 7th in the 4th division, while Blackpool's last day defeat at Walsall saw them just miss out on automatic promotion.
It's an emotional night for Blackpool Football Club in particular. Their first Wembley appearance since the stadium's most famous club final, the Matthews final of 1953. And their Wembley place clinched on the very day that the football world mourned the loss of Stanley Mortensen, scorer of a hat-trick that day. Blackpool have Ian Gore forward from the back for this corner. Cleared comfortably though by Mickey Holmes. Right, here's Rodwell. Taylor has drawn wide. Made a little bit of space for himself here, Mark Taylor. A little bit of space for Paul Groves. And Blackpool in front. 7 minutes gone. First blood to Blackpool. A goal for Paul Groves. Well, they've taken the game to Torquay United from the very first whistle. Taylor it was who was allowed to create the space, and Groves it was who was allowed to slip into the penalty area. His shot beyond Howells, and Blackpool take the lead. Beautifully delivered by Taylor, and Groves sniffing out the chance into the side of the net, beautifully placed. Saunders is forward from the back again, as indeed is Matthew Elliott. Number 5, who scored a vital last-minute goal against Burnley in the semi-finals. It's aimed towards Saunders, though, turned away by Gore. Joyce trying to retrieve the situation. Loram. That's a good cross. Saunders is in there! And Wet Saunders has equalised for Torquay. Sporting the scars of battle, Wet Saunders, the Torquay captain, equalises after 28 minutes. And all the pain and suffering that he's gone through since that clash of heads with Paul Groves worthwhile now. McAlargy, wrong-footed, beautifully delivered cross by Mark Loram, and Saunders, particularly bearing in mind his scars, went in so bravely.
We had a bit of a nightmare. We didn't settle, we looked a bit panicky, we didn't keep our shape. But obviously, they went 1 up. We've clawed ourselves back into the game. It's 1-1 now, and it looks as if we're getting on top of the game.
Header away by Groves, a firm one. Space here, though, for Paul Holmes, and plenty of support if he can get a cross in. Charged down by Bamber, appeals for a penalty. And Dave Bamber absolutely aghast as George Corney points to the spot. Holmes' cross, charged down by Bamber. Now, was there intent here by the big man? That's the key thing. He certainly caught it with his right arm, but it looked a harsh one. It'll be Dean Edwards, it'll be Torquay 2, Blackpool 1. 8 minutes of the first half remaining, and Torquay go in front through a very controversial Dean Edwards penalty. Joy for John Impey and co. But Dave Bamber very unfortunate to be penalised. Edwards sending McAlargy the wrong way, and Torquay United are in front. Stoppage time at the end of a very eventful first half. Matthew Elliott is forward. Saunders is now just joining in from the back. Turned away, almost fell for Saunders, falls for Joyce. Mickey Holmes' shot, firmly struck, but always rising. John Impey's team in charge. Davis. That's a loose one. Holmes. Joyce has made a run ahead of him. This is Edwards though. Couldn't quite take it in his stride. Second chance. Deflected. Evans. Good save by McAlaghy. Really important stop by the Blackpool goalkeeper on his near post. The deflection off Edwards favoured big Stuart Evans. And it was a real chance. And he hit the target, but he hit McAlaghy too. Stuart Evans, the former Rotherham player, whose introduction in place of Tommy Tynan has given Torquay a rather more Route 1 look about them for the closing weeks of the season, and it's worked so well. It's brought them here to Wembley, and Evans is in there again, and that was a clear-headed chance for the big man. Dave Bamber takes up his station in the centre as David Ayres drops out to the right wing to take the corner. The two central defenders, Horner and Gore, are forward. There's Phil Horner. Howells was flapping somewhat. Taylor back into the danger area, really awkward. Oh, smuggled off the line by Paul Holmes. Into the final quarter. Davis in towards Bamber. Attempted overhead by Ayres, hit the crossbar, might still go in, it has! In off Chris Curran, the fullback. Blackpool level. Happy Seasiders fans, a dejected goalkeeper, but Blackpool have really worked hard for that equaliser. It was almost a spectacular goal by David Ayres, great overhead kick. But as it hit the crossbar and came down, Chris Curran, in his attempt to hook it clear, sliced it into his own goal. 69 minutes gone, it's all square. What a terrific effort it was though by David Ayres, and what a shame in a way that this overhead kick didn't find the back of the net, because that would have been a Wembley landmark. Instead, it's a tragedy off the standing foot of Chris Curran. We're back where we were. 20 minutes left to play. It's Blackpool 2, Torquay 2. Taylor somehow smuggling possession for himself. Here's Ayres. Oh, he was clipped there by Myers. Play on, says the referee, who had a very good view. Taylor. Header away by Joyce. Blackpool have got it back with Groves. One last chance maybe. David Ayres crossed in dangerously. Taylor was there, but just couldn't quite reach it. Neither could Bamber behind him. And surely the last opportunity of normal time, with almost 4 minutes of added time already played. And I hope that the senior legs on the field will stand up to 30 extra minutes. That's what they're going to have to do. And for the first time, one of these playoff finals will go into overtime. Good ball from Groves. Taylor peeling away into space. Bamber waiting on the edge of the 6-yard box, knocked away by Elliott, only as far as Rodwell. Davis now for Blackpool. Oh, it opened up for him there, tried his luck, bounced off Saunders, and in by Bamber! No offside. Goal disallowed. Disappointment again for Dave Bamber. Linesman Gareth Davis raises the flag that catches Dave Bamber offside. Hall trying to get in. He's created the space for Loram. Firmly struck ground shot, just wide of the mark from Mark Loram. About 8 minutes remaining. Driven into Loram, flicked on, it's come for Elliott, great save by McAlargy, Evans is in there, smuggled off the line by Groves. What an escape for Blackpool. How did that stay out? Asked Matthew Elliott. Well, it was a combination of great goalkeeping and defiant defending. Superb stop by McAlargy, and then his defenders got back on the line, and Groves, facing his goal, managed to turn it over the crossbar. Ayres again. Howells managed to force it away, and it's fallen kindly for Chris Myers, and that's it. And 9 months of endeavour in the 4th division boils down now to a lucky dip. It will be 5 penalties apiece, and if that isn't sudden enough, then sudden death. And Mark Loram is first up for Torquay United. Steve McAlargy, the Blackpool goalkeeper. Loram, the regular Torquay penalty taker. Oh, what a save by McAlargy! What a moment for the big goalkeeper. But Loram's penalty kick has been saved by McAlargy, and is that the moment? Is that the moment that decides this marathon? It'll be Tony Rodwell for Blackpool. And he's had his save. A rather tame effort by Rodwell. Gareth Howells kept it out. It's the turn of the Torquay flags to wave, and the turn of Gareth Howells to accept the congratulations. Next for Torquay is Mickey Holmes. 4 more each. 0-0 in the penalty shootout. Holmes is the first successful penalty kick. Mark Taylor, who had such a lively match leading the Blackpool line. Gareth Howells waits. Mark Taylor then. And he scores, and it's 1-1. Wes Saunders has set such an heroic example for Torquay tonight with their 3rd penalty. And he scored. Again, McAlargy chose wrong. 2-1 to Torquay. Ian Gore, the Blackpool supporters player of the year. Scouser to try and level it up. Driven in. Lodged in the stanchion. 2-2 in the penalty competition. 4-4 on the night. Paul Holmes, who's cross-run that penalty way back in the first half of normal time. Roof of the net. 3-2 to Torquay. Paul Groves is next in the firing line. Oh, there wasn't an awful lot to spare. He looked calm enough. It all comes down to this now. Chris Myers must score for Torquay. Oh, McAlargy got his hands to it, but could only direct it up into the roof of the net. Got both hands to it. If Garner can score, it goes to sudden death, but it's already sudden death for him. He's got to score. Andy Garner for Blackpool. He's done it. We go on to sudden death. Coolly done by the skipper. Each side converting 4 of their 5 penalties. And would you believe it, the goalkeeper is going to take the next one. It's going to be Gareth Howells, the Torquay goalkeeper. Beats his opposite number. Well, there's coolness from a 20-year-old. Dave Bamber has been nominated next for Blackpool. You can hardly believe that these players have got to go through this at this stage of the season, but ironically in the week when Europe's most prestigious club game was settled on penalties, it's all on again. Bamber, oh, dreadfully wide. What a disaster for Dave Bamber. Torquay United's long wait is over. Nearly 20 years in the 4th division comes to an end. The Torquay celebrations, they go up to the 3rd division just 2 months after John Impey took charge of a team in the bottom half of the table. Blackpool, who might easily have been crowned champions on the closing Saturday of the regular season, are condemned to another year in Division 4. A bitter, bitter pill for them to swallow. And how ironic that Dave Bamber, who did so much to resurrect their promotion bid, should be the man who missed the crucial penalty. A cruel, cruel way to settle a football match. But to settle a football season, well, it's almost inhuman. Tears inevitably in the Blackpool ranks. Gareth Howells stood up and was counted to take the penalty which gave them the advantage, and poor Dave Bamber could not answer. So Torquay United's topsy-turvy season ends in triumph. Villiers doing his best to console his troops as Wes Saunders leads Torquay up the steps. The 4th division leaders by 8 points at the end of October. They drifted down into the bottom half of the table when John Impey appeared on the scene to rescue them. And at the end of this marathon contest with Blackpool, it came down to a fairground shootout, and Torquay United held the winning ticket. Well, what an example Wes Saunders has set for them. There is a small memento for him to collect, a small silver standard, which will be handed over to him by the Barclays executive George Cracknell. But the real reward is a return to the 3rd division after 19 years. This was the moment when Dave Bamber took the most unwanted place in the Football League record books.
I've had a worse moment in my life, I mean football.